World War III is already happening.
This is a house of cards, and it is in the process of collapsing right now.
You're going to see an economic crash the likes of which we've never seen.
Vote just this time. You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years, you know what? It'll be fixed. It'll be fine. You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians. I love you, Christians.
But I said to the Christians in the room, thousands of them, I said, typically Christians do not vote. Why it is, I don't know. You're rebellious. Something's going on. Don't worry about the future. You have to vote on November 5th. After that, you don't have to worry about voting anymore.
I don't think there's anything going to get me in heaven. Okay, I really don't. I think I'm not maybe heaven bound. I may be in heaven right now as we fly in Air Force One. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make heaven. A short time ago, the United States military began major combat operations in Iran.
In a sign the conflict with Iran is expanding to the Red Sea, Iranian-backed Houthis claimed responsibility for an attack on Saudi oil tankers there.
The Houthis, frankly, got snookered into this thing by the Iranians.
President Trump warned if the Houthis strike again, the U.S. will inflict a major military punishment against Iran and its Houthi allies.
We can't let them have what they want, which is nuclear weapons.
The U.S. is also sending more military equipment to the region, including aerial refuelers that CBS News has confirmed have been deployed to places like Israel. Flight trackers have also shown B-1 bombers leaving bases in the U.K.
Overnight, Iran launched new attacks against U.S. bases in Kuwait and Bahrain. Secretary of State Marco Rubio indicated that Iran will continue to pay a heavy price for these actions and their unwillingness to make a deal about the strait.
CBS News has learned the U.S. military is surging dozens of medics to an American military hospital in Germany. That's where service members injured in the conflict with Iran are being sent to be treated.
Now, this development comes with other new indications of a U.S. military buildup in the Middle East.
Pretty interesting video here from Taiwan. They are clearly locked and loaded in that hotspot. Taiwan staging sweeping war games on land, air, and sea, drilling for a potential Chinese invasion. Fox News Live on the U.S. allied island as it puts its armed forces to the test. Jeff Paul reporting from the capital city of Taipei. Hi, Jeff.
Hey, Martha. Well, yeah, officials here in Taiwan say these annual war games come at a very critical time. It gives both military personnel and civilians a chance to prepare for a possible invasion by Chinese forces. And really, when you think about it, it really is important to be prepared because China continues to apply all sorts of pressure on this island.
The World Food Programme's 2026 Global Outlook reveals the dire situation of people facing hunger around the world. The report finds that an estimated 318 million people will experience acute food insecurity, including more than 41 million on the brink of starvation or worse, and 1.2 million will face catastrophic hunger. The organization hopes to help 110 million of the most vulnerable next year. However, a shortage of funds and budget uncertainty could upend that goal. My colleague and host of The Heat, Anna Naidu, spoke with Jean-Martin Bauer. He is the Director of Food Security and Nutrition Analysis Service at United Nations World Food Programme. He first asked Bauer what has drastically changed that we find ourselves here. Take a listen.
We are in a deepening crisis. We're in a crisis that's marked by the numbers you've mentioned. I'd like to emphasize that the number of acutely food insecure people has more than doubled since the pandemic. And in fact, we're seeing an increase also in the most extreme situations, situations of starvation, situations of people living famine-like conditions. Those affect about 1 million people around the world. And right now, for the first time this century, we have 2 concurrent famines, one in Gaza and one in Sudan. The situation is very bad. The situation is bleak because the needs are quite high, and we're also facing unprecedented cuts to humanitarian funding.
Now, you say the number of people who are going hungry has doubled since the pandemic. What's changed? What's causing that?
Well, there's been, of course, the cost of living crisis that took place in the aftermath of the Ukraine crisis. That's been economic factors have been a baseline there. But what's really driven these increases is conflict. Conflict in places like, I mentioned Sudan, I mentioned Palestine, but there's also been conflict around the world. In fact, the number of conflicts has been increasing, and that drives displacement. Conflict destroys food systems, and it makes it more difficult for people to meet their own needs.
Groceries are more expensive. Economists are now saying it could only get worse. The price of groceries rose 2.9% in April compared to the same time last year. Government data released in May shows that was the highest year-over-year jump for groceries since August 2023. Wow. People are paying more for meat, fruit, veggies, even coffee, and grocery store chains like Stu Leonard's are dealing with the cost of inflation while trying to also keep their loyal shoppers coming back.
It is a turbulent time to be living in the United States, and now some Americans are packing up and leaving, and they're deciding to live abroad, driven by factors like the cost of living and political divisions. Chief investigative reporter Eric Flack first reported on this trend 3 years ago, so he checked back with the experts who told him the number of people interested in leaving the states is only going up.
Sudden wave of earthquakes has shaken parts of the world, putting the Earth's hidden movements under the spotlight now. From powerful tremors near Mexico to rising stress along major fault lines, scientists are watching this closely. But are these earthquakes connected, or is the planet simply revealing its natural rhythm? Well, our next story explains this to you. Take a look.
The crisis began in Venezuela, where a rare and devastating double earthquake struck a week ago. Striking mere 39 seconds apart, twin quakes measuring magnitudes of 7.2 and 7.5 ripped through the north-central region. The quakes caused widespread destruction. Nearly 2,000 people have died, over 10,000 injured, and thousands still remain missing.
Tonight at 11, a desperate search for survivors in Colombia after a powerful earthquake topples multi-story buildings, trapping people beneath tons of rubble. The shaking going on for so long, many people were able to start recording the devastation on their cell phones as it was all still unfolding. The death toll quickly rising, and tonight we're hearing from people who lived through it. Eyewitness News reporter Liz Nagy talking with survivors, plus what seismologist Dr. Lucy Jones is saying about the lessons this quake has for all of us in Southern California. Liz.
Mark, one of the premier seismologists, said Southern California is going to experience an earthquake just like the one in Colombia. Dr. Jones says that is inevitable. What we don't know, she says, is when, because these earthquakes tend to be random.